afternoon, Owls fans, and we're getting ready for the third round of our matchup at the Plymouth Powerball Volleyball Tournament. Owls will be facing off against the Cougars from New Prairie. Owls are 1-1 so far on the day, falling on a very hard-fought match against New Pal with the third set, losing 16-18, and then defeating Plymouth in 2 sets. Getting ready to start. Out there on the court will be Adamowitz, Nixon, Powers, Kessler, Halbert, and Myers. Owls will be serving first. Myers serves it deep. Side attack. Beach sets it up. Powers, and attack goes long. That first point's going to go to New Prairie. Waiting on a scoreboard operator for the match. Meyer hits it up to Nixon. Adamowitz fires. And it's not going to clear the tape. Point's going to go over to New Prairie, leading 2-0. Nixon sets up Powers. She tries to tip it over. And the Cougars are there waiting with the block. That is Haley Robinson, number 7, to meet her. Clips the net. Adamowitz covers it. Nixon's going to dump it over. And that'll get the point. Owls are on the scoreboard now. Beach will be back to serve. 12 throws it over. It'll be a point for New Prairie. That is Michaels who got the kill. Halbert sends it to Nixon, and it's going to be mistimed. Another point for the Cougars. Now leading 5-1. And Coach Craig has seen enough, and Owls are going to take a timeout, and we'll be right back. And as we come back to the action, Owls trailing 5-1. Robinson for New Prairie. Halbert will receive it. Nixon sets up Kessler. Good defense by the Cougars. Owls there with the block. It hangs up on the net. Roll shot, deep corner, and the Owls can't get to it. Halbert to Nixon. Kessler runs just enough to get it over. A dump from Nixon. And the Owls are at 2. Junior outside hitter Emily Adamowitz back to serve. Back row attack. And that's outside the lines. And the Owls, with the good eye, pick up the point. Adamowitz back to serve. Big swing, and it goes long. Cougars looking for a touch and not getting it. And the Owls will close the lead within 2. There's a roll shot from the Cougars. Kessler pounds it. Tipped there, and the Owls can't get it. And it goes out of bounds. Point goes over to the Cougars. Service error gives a point to the Owls, and we retain the service. Duncan returns to the front row for the Owls. Lauren Nixon back to serve. Be a free ball. Kessler passes it over to Nixon. Kessler in the block. And it's going to land inbounds. Point goes to the Cougars. Back to a 3-point lead. Albert to Nixon. Kessler from the right side. Adamowitz gets it up. Nixon. There'll be a free ball from Adamowitz. Cougars work to set it up. Outside attack, and that goes long. Owls continue to trail by 2. Abby Kessler, junior middle hitter, will be at serving. And she picks up the ace. Serves again. And not going to be able to be returned. And we're tied up at 8 points. Kessler serves it over. Back middle attack, and that lands in the back corner. And the Cougars retake the lead, 9-8. Kessler gets it over to Halbert. Be a free ball over. Dungan is going to set up Halbert, who put off speed down the line. Is good for a point. And we're back tied again. Halbert will go back to serve for the Owls. Off the block. Adamowitz tips it over with the off speed and gets the point. And the Owls take the lead. 10-9, and New Prairie's going to call a timeout. And as we come back to the action, Owls hold a 1-point lead. What's been a very fought, competitive first match here. Tipped over. Halbert gets it. Powers almost had it over. Not quite. And the Owls will hit it 4 times, which is one too many. Service error gives it right back to the Owls as they retake the lead. Meyer will come in to serve for the Owls. Cougar scramble. There's a roll shot. Kessler to Powers. And she powers it through the block for the point, and the Owls are up 2. Outside attack goes long. And the Owls go up by 3. The senior, Corinne Meyer, will continue to serve for the Muncie Burris. And quick hands with the overpass as Adamowitz puts it down for another point for the Owls. Now up by 4. Adamowitz to right to the back. Big swing. And Nixon was tight to the net, had to dump it. This time she'll set up Powers. And she goes around the block for the kill. And serve goes long, and that point will go over to the Cougars. Nixon sets up Adamowitz. She tips it around the block. And the Cougars fail to return it, and the Owls pick up the point. Back to a 5-point lead. Senior libero Helen Beach back to serve. Robinson, and that's going to go off the block and land in the court. Owls check that. Cougars pick up the point. Robinson back to serve again. Meyer dives and gets it. Domowitz waits for it, roll shots over the net. There's a big swing from number 12, Michaels, but it goes long. And tally 1 on the Burris side of the scoreboard. Domowitz will be back to serve for the Owls. Big swing, and Meyer pops it way up there. Halbert sends it down the line for the kill. And New Prairie's going to take a timeout as the Owls have opened up a 6-point lead. Adamowitz swings it over to the net. Off the block, Owls are there. Halbert, Beach will set it over. Michaels, Adamowicz with the dig. Kessler throws it deep. Owls there with the block. Halbert covers. And Nixon smartly dumps it to the right. And the Owls pick up the point. Emily Adamowicz back to serve. Nixon set it over the net. Beach gets it to Nixon. Halbert swings away. And that'll get tipped out of bounds. And the Owls are the first one to 20 points. Adamowicz all the way across court with the serve. Owls there with the block. Nixon in. Kessler. Clips the net and just makes it over. Beach to Nixon. Kessler off the block. Meyer with the cover. Halbert sends it down the line. And late call from the official says it's going to touch the antenna on the way over. He had to think about that for a little bit. Michael sends it over. Kessler to Nixon. She'll send it over to Halbert. There's a roll shot, and Nixon and Kessler with another block for the Owls. Dungan will come in for the Owls, and Nixon goes back to serve. Have an official's timeout. Checking with the scorers table. Had to correct the score. We had the correct score here on Owls TV. Adamowicz passes it up. Halbert around the block, and Dungan dumps it, and Kessler dumps it for the kill. There's a lot of battling right there at the net. And Owls open up a 10-point lead. Duncan gets it. Nixon sets up Halbert. And the off speed, good for the kill. Owls have been working around the blocks. New Prairie's been putting up a whole bunch in front of the hitters. Taking some adjustments. And that's that point. But the service error gives it back to New Prairie. And the Owls hold a 10-point lead. Fleck for New Prairie will go back to serve. Right side attack. Beach with the dig. Dungan from the outside. And it'll be thrown over. Beach covers it. And they're going to say it was a carry on the Owls. That point goes over to New Prairie. Owls still at set point, leading by 9. Emma Fleck, sophomore for New Prairie, back to serve. Beach to Nixon. Kessler, ooh! And Swistik there with the put down for New Prairie. Owls still looking for one more point. Fleck serves it over. Owls scrambling, can't get it, and won't return. And that's 3 points in a row for New Prairie. Again, Owls are sitting at set point, looking for that last side out of this first set. Halbert. Kessler. And that's going to say that was out. That was extremely close. Fleck again. The overpass. And it won't be returned. And the attacking air gives the Owls the 25th point. And that'll end the first set as the Owls take it 18-25. We'll be back shortly for our second set. Welcome back, Owls fans, as we get ready to start the second set. Burris took the first one 25-18. New Prairie will serve. Adamowitz handles it. Nixon runs under it. Kessler with the roll shot. And it's going to be a scramble and not going to be returned by the Cougars, and the Owls will pick up the point. Myers back to serve. Big swing there, and Beach with the dig. Back row attack from Kessler. Kessler gets the dig this time. Adamowitz rolls it over to the block. Adamowitz with the cover. Nixon's going to send up Kessler. And ball handling there is going to be called. Not sure if I saw that call. But they didn't ask me, so we'll put a point up for the Cougars. Nixon over to Adamowitz off the right side of the block. Beach runs under it for the dig. Nixon's going to set it over. Cougars cover it. Page Powers gets a hand on it. Kessler fires from the back row. Off the block. Adamowitz lets it fly. Off speed. Meyer with the cover. Adamowitz off the block. Picks up the point, and the Owls retake the lead 2-1. Halbert in the back row, or Halbert in the rotation for the Owls. Beach to serve. And two of the Cougar players get tied up and can't return it. And the Owls go up by 3-1. Beach, once again, sends it over to the Cougar side of the net. Nixon. Adamowitz fires. And that's going to be tipped and out of bounds. Point goes to the Owls. The senior libero, Beach, back to serve once again. Roll shot, Beach there, this right spot. Kessler pounds it through the block. Owls there with their own block. There's the roll shot. Halbert. And Kessler pushes it off to the right side. Back row attack from Halbert. Owls there again. Adamowitz throws it down the line. Cougars will be able to cover it. And into the block, but it goes out of bounds. Last touch by the Owls. Off the long rally. And the Cougars pick up the point. Michael sends it over. Kessler in the back corner for the kill. And the Owls are up by 3. Adamowitz. She sends it to the middle of the court. Owls there with the block, and it's kicked over. And the Owls still get the point. That was a good heads-up play by the Cougars. I will give them that to get the foot there to kick it over the net, which is perfectly legal. Adamowitz. Back row attack. Nixon sets up Kessler, and another kill for the junior. And the Owls open up a 5-point lead. Long attack. Beach there with the defensive play. Halbert sends it deep. Tipped over. Beach again with another defensive play. Halbert, and this time she'll get the kill. And the Owls go up by 6. Off the block, and Owls can't get there to cover it in time, and that point will go over to New Prairie. Owls still holding on to a 4-point lead, leading 1-0. Beach to Nixon. Halbert fires away, but it'll be attacking air. Another point for the Cougars. Kessler finds the open spot on the court and grabs the point, and the Owls are back up by 5. Duncan comes in the front row for Meyer. Nixon will go back to serve. Duncan pushes over the overpass. Kessler to Nixon. Back to Kessler. And she sent a rocket over. And the Owls are the first one to 10. Middle attack. Kessler there with the block. But Nixon comes diving in, but can't get there in time. Point will go over to New Prairie. Swistic will be back to serve. Owls cleaning up some moisture off the court. Nixon. Kessler, and she got just a little too far under that. And it goes long. Owls still hold a 4-point lead as Swistic serves again. And Nixon sets it over. Halbert runs under it and throws it over the net. Kessler with the big swing down the middle. And that goes into the stands, and the Owls get the side out. Short serve from Kessler goes too short. And that'll be an easy point for New Prairie. Troy, the libero, back to serve for New Prairie. Adamwood sends it to Nixon. Powers runs it off the block. And she gets the kill, and the Owls are back by a 5-point lead. Halbert will go back to serve. Nixon. Adamwood sends it down the line. That'll be a free ball from Troy. Powers to Nixon. Adamwood shaves it off the block. Big dig from Halbert, and that'll go over to the net. Michael sends it over. Adamowitz fires. Dug up by the Cougars. Halbert once again with another dig. Back row attack from Kessler. And that looks like that went off the side of her hands, and that'll give a point to New Prairie. Kowalski back to serve. Beach. Kessler, and that goes out of bounds. New Prairie's close within 3, and Coach Craig wants the time to take time and rally the troops, and we'll be back momentarily. And we come back. Owls leading by 3, 12-9. New Prairie with the serve. Kowalski back to serve. Adamowitz will receive it. Powers waits for it, and she tips it over. There's a roll shot from Robinson. Powers, and I thought she had the spot. Robinson, Beach will dig it up. Adamowitz sends it over to the block, and it goes out of bounds. Last touch by the Cougars. Owls pick up the point. Meyer back to serve for Burris. Powers punches it over the net, and that's good for the kill. Owls back to a 5-point lead. Service error, and that's going to give the Cougars their 10th point of the match. Robinson will be back to serve for New Prairie. Beach will receive it. Nixon sets up Adamowitz. Michaels, and she puts it between the Owls' block and gets the point. And the Cougars have cut it within 3 again. Robinson sends it deep. Powers off the right side. Kessler runs and gets it. Adamowitz roll shots it over. There's a big swing. Meyer gets it up. Kessler sends it. Adamowitz sends it deep. And it's going to get picked up by the Cougars. And a big dig from Meyer, but the Owls can't get there. And New Prairie's within 2. Owls looking for a side out. There's an ace for the Cougars. Robinson. Meyer sends it up to Nixon. Powers off the right side. Beach with the dig. Nixon's going to send up Kessler in the back row. That's a long shot for the junior. It's bumped over. Nixon. Powers. There's a free ball over. Powers and they're going to say that nobody touched it, but Coach Craig is definitely arguing the point. That'll tie us up at 14. And the service goes long. What's the saying in volleyball? The ball never lies. Beach back to serve. Hauser with the block. And they say 4 hits on the Cougars. Hauser back to a 2-point lead. Beach sends it right down the out of bounce line. There's a roll shot. Kessler winds up and swings away for the kill. Hauser up 3. Service there. And the service will go back over to the Cougars. Michael sends it over. Halbert's pass goes right over the net. And Kessler there with the block and point. Owls open up a 3-point lead. And New Prairie is going to take a timeout. And we're back. Adamowitz back to serve. There's the roll shot. Meyer with the dig. And miscommunication between the setter and the hitters there. And Cougars pick up the point. Fleck will be back to serve. Kessler fires away, and that goes out of bounds. New Prairie back within 1. Halbert jousts it to net, comes to the outside. Halbert again. Oh, somebody was in the net for sure. And that would be one of the Cougars players. And the Owls pick up the point. Dungan into the front row for the Owls. Nixon back at the service line. Low serve from Nixon. And that shaved off the Owls block, landing on the court. Point goes over to New Prairie. Swistic back to serve. Serve goes long, and the Owls are the first one to 20. Kessler will be back to serve for the Owls. Right side attack from the Cougars. Check that. Halbert powers it through the block and picks up the point. Kessler. She'll send it deep. Thrown over by Dungan's going to set up Adamowicz. She'll tip it over to the block. And there's a kill by Robinson for New Prairie. She had the good line there. Scored the point. Troy go back to serve for the Cougars. Kessler. Powers right down the middle for the kill. Albert just clears the net. Robinson fires. Nixon just sticks her hands up and sends it right over to the net. Big swing. Nixon again just puts her hands up. Michaels. Kessler to Nixon. Powers sends it right back. Adamowicz down deep, sends it deep. It's going to be returned by Robinson, and that goes off the block out of bounds. Beecher places Albert in the back row. Kowalski back to serve. Powers, and there's another big swing for the junior, and the kill. Substitution, Meyer comes in for Dungan. She'll serve. Owls looking for 2 more points to finish off the Cougars. There's an ace. That'll bring the Owls to match point. This goes deep. Another ace, and the Owls take the set, defeating New Prairie 2-0. Owls will now have to see where they place to determine what ranking they will be playing for in the crossover match. There is a possibility Owls will be playing in the championship, but we will let you know